Happy New Year to all our BPTV fans and fans on YouTube and fans today. If you're watching for the first time, we appreciate you. We have another by request show. We've been getting a lot of great feedback from this. I'm honored to do this show. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine, with Jessica Lee, and we co-produce, we co-host this show. So we're a dynamic duo, and we have great information for you. We have an exciting by request show for you today. And thank you for watching. And I'm going to go right to Jessica Lee. Happy New Year, Jessica Lee.
Happy, healthy 2021, Al. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing very well, feeling great. This COVID's not bothering me. I'm practicing. So, oh, what's in your cup?
Water. What about
Um,
you?
I have special loose leaf green tea called Japanese sencha. I have a
Okay.
bunch of different teas that I drink, and I'm drinking it today. It's a little more robust than the matcha tea that you hear from Japan, but it's very good. It's like my China gunpowder.
Yeah, well, wonderful. So that's the happy, healthy part, the healthy
Yes,
part of the.
sip by sip to better health and some great conversation.
Well, Al, over the holiday break, I still had a lot of people hitting me up and asking for song requests. And I tried to take a little bit of downtime between the Christmas holiday and the New Year's holiday.
I
But
respect that.
as 2021 is upon us, I think that a lot of people now are thoughtful at the beginning of the year.
Sure.
How can this year be better than the last one? And I think we all think we can make this 2021 a lot better than
Yes.
2020.
Yes. Yes.
Goodbye 2020. Let's not even think about the pandemic and all the stuff that occurred during 2020. It
Just
was a rough
recently, I don't
year.
want to even mention recently. Let's just try to stay positive. Let's just be kind. And please keep your minds open and try to have common sense. That's all I ask. And we can get
Well,
along.
I'll tell you, Al. So again, anybody who wants to throw a request our way, they can get a hold of me for song requests at jessicaleejazz.com, Jessica Lee, Lee, jazz.com, or through our Facebook pages, social media, LinkedIn, etc.
Sure.
But there was a song requested called Just a Closer Walk with Thee. That was the first song that I said to myself in 2021, I'm going to honor this song request. And I'm going to do something special out during this 2021 with you on the By Request program. I've
Okay.
decided that with some of these song requests, we can walk through what I call the American music tree. Have you ever heard of it?
I have heard of it. And matter of fact, you mentioned it to me. So that's when I recently heard it.
Okay, now I probably talked to you a little bit about it, but there are a lot
Very
of
little.
there are a lot of different American music trees that people talk about generally. I was in Cape May, New Jersey once, and I walked into this little store, and there was this magnificent, really large drawing of this American music tree, and it showed the roots being spirituals, blues, European work songs, folk songs, all that really early music out as the roots of the tree. And then the trunk of the tree being jazz, which
Yeah.
is an American music art form, right? The trunk
Right.
being jazz of our American music, and the branches being everything from the country music, the rhythm and blues, just every type of music imaginable coming off of the branches of this really cool tree. And the tree also has all different kinds of artists names.
Wow.
Some of the artists who helped to make these various parts of the music tree, the genres of music,
Sure.
popular. And
Sure.
it's really cool. And we got two song requests for today, and both of them are roots music songs. So one is a spiritual,
Wow.
Just a Closer Walk with Thee. And then the second that we'll talk about later is a blues. And I
Yes.
always say to everybody with the new year, people sometimes say to me during the January and February months, the winter, they have the blues. They're sad. They feel
Sure.
depressed.
Sure.
And I tell them if you sing your blues out, just sing them out, joy, will follow, joy will replace. So singing is a really good thing to do, Al, when you are feeling down and out. Do you sing the blues, Al?
I'll sing it privately because I don't have a good voice for singing. I'll share that. So I do because my kids over the years have said, Dad, you rarely sing a song with us on the radio. Don't you like music? And meanwhile, I have a collection of CDs, a couple hundred and things like that, and would listen to them. But my singing talents are limited. I have a great voice, I've been told by others, so I respect that, but a little limited. I probably need some experts from a professional like you to just let it rip because I'm fearless. So I probably would, but
Well,
long
that
story
leads
short,
into New Year's resolutions, I guess. And let's talk about that just a little bit because
yes,
Just a Closer Walk with Thee is one of these beautiful spirituals that was written so long ago. And we'll talk about that after we hear a version of this song out.
yes,
But somebody had asked me, what is your New Year's resolution? And it's really related to this song to just
really,
really walk as closely as possible in the moments with God, with spirit. And I think that the old saying that's in the Bible about faith and hope and love, but the greatest of these is love. Just to be really mindful, really in the moment. You talked just earlier about peace,
yes,
trying to get along with each other, even if we disagree with each other's political points
sure.
of view or whatever it is. And I said, so, my New Year's resolution is really when we can help people, help people. When we can't help people, at least don't hurt them. At least don't hurt them.
Yes,
So, you want to hear this song, and we'll come back and take a little bit of
yes.
a walk back into the past.
No, I would love that. And I have some information going back for you on this song, exclusive for you. So I would love to hear this song. And why don't we do it right now, Jess?
All right, so by request, Just a Closer Walk with Thee.
Hey everybody, this is Jessica Lee stopping by for one quick song by request at my piano. By request. I am weak, but thou art strong. Jesus, keep me from all wrong. I'll be satisfied as long as I walk. Let me walk close to thee. Through this world of toils and snares, if I falter, Lord, who cares? With me, my burden shares. None but thee, dear Lord, none but thee. When my feeble life lays o'er, time for me will be no more. Guide me gently, safely on to the kingdom shore, the kingdom shore. with thee. Grant it, Jesus, is my plea now. Daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be.
Jessica Lee, my compliments to you on your piano playing. And the song, I listened to all the words. And like you said, it strikes a chord with 2021. So this is a perfect song for what we need right now. So thank you very much for that. I hope all of you out there enjoyed as much as I did the great singing and piano playing. So what do you have, Jess? What do you want to say?
Well, I want to say that, this song again is one of the very, very early spirituals that was a part of the roots of our American music development, our American music tree. And Al, it was written so long ago. There's all kinds of discussion about who wrote it, but nobody really knows for sure. So it's an unknown author, which makes
Yeah.
you feel like, okay, somebody from upstairs sent this down for us.
Well,
Why
God
don't you tell
speaks to
us?
us in many different ways. So this is one of them,
What did
definitely.
you what did you find when you looked this song up,
I'm
Al?
going to go way, way back in time because I got a couple different things. I'll tell you when it was written for what we follow now, on what year that was. But you got to go back to people talking about it, to the African American slaves actually singing this song out in the fields. People recorded that they heard them singing it. And then they heard them with porters on the trains and stuff like that. And they say around the Civil War, they heard people singing this song. So lo and behold, this gentleman, let me get his name here a second. This composer, Kenneth Morris, heard a porter on a train in Kansas City. Now he's going east, right? So he goes east and he couldn't get the song out of his head. This is like what you tell me with certain songs will stick in your brain, maybe at 3 a.m. We've heard those stories and I appreciate it. So he got back on the train, went to Kansas City. This was in 1940. He saw the same porter, interviewed him, and wrote the words down and added a couple lyrics, to broaden it a little bit and make it sound, like you sang it. And he did that in 1940.
Now,
And
Al, let me stop you there.
yeah,
That's one story.
right. No, I
It's
didn't put
not
many of them.
so what's interesting here for everybody in TV land is nobody knows for sure. That's one story that's documented and out there, and others say no, it came from that and this and that and this. So that's why when you look it up, it's really unknown. There's no agreed upon origin of the song. So
No,
somehow it got down here.
no,
Yeah.
you're so spot on with that. And I was just sharing some of the history because, I tie in with the history and I clicked on links to other people. And then it was first recorded in 1941 and it was by Decca Records with his Sella Jubilee Singers, October 8th, 1941. That's when it was recorded. Then it became, here's what's cool, it became a gospel standard, it became a jazz standard, and it became an American folk song standard. So there's a trifecta for you. So I don't care who wrote it. People were singing it. Hundreds of singers have sang this song, like you say. So that tree has branches and leaves like you can't believe just on this song, which is so
This
cool.
song has crossed genres and people do it all different ways, right? Different styles of, yeah. And so it's really interesting. And so many big names over the years have recorded their versions as well.
Well, you segued right into what I wanted to bring up, a big name. Red Foley, he was an American singer, musician, radio and TV personality. And in 1950, he sang this song, and there was over 1 million, it was a 1 million seller for that song. 1950, 1 million. And it just, he was actually behind the growth of country music after World War II. Well-known personality. I researched him a little. It's just so cool. I don't want to get into that too deeply, but it was just, amazing with what this became. From an unknown author to this song is worldwide. It's so
Well,
cool.
and it's a true standard, right, Al? What really is a standard? It's simply a song that lasts through time because it's such a great song.
And
And so
people
it's,
are liking it and buying it. So that's even cooler. So
yeah. So Al, we were talking about resolutions
yes.
before we heard this song. So tell everybody, I think you don't have a New Year's resolution yet. So
Uh,
talk to us about that.
Mine are limited because when I was younger, I added resolutions all the time because I read self-help books. I was always trying to get better, and I haven't stopped. I still have that curiosity that I want to learn. So I see different things, and I call it a lifestyle, like eating and stuff. I don't call it dieting. I eat my healthy food. I've done it for years. I do my cooking, and people go, "Did you just start doing that?" And I go, "No, this has been a lifelong thing." And when I was raising my kids, as they got older, they would go, "Dad, what's your New Year's resolution?" I tell them a couple, little things I do. I go, "I want to help you with homework," or "I want to, get you in this baseball or dancing school for my daughter and softball." We'll do those things. They go, "What about you?" I go, "You know what? You get a little burnout December and January. You got to pay these bills. I start in February." And my daughter was a teenager, and the one year she goes, "Dad, are you still starting in February?" And I said, "Yes, it works out really well for me because I'm over the holiday blues and worrying about other things. Now I can focus on health, being a better person, all these other things." So I start in February. And, I told you this story, but that's the background with it. And I've been doing it for a long time now. And I feel better because there's no stress. I saw friends of mine go, "I'm already off of my diet." And that was the second day of January.
Right, right. So many people out talk about health, like you're talking fitness,
Yes.
health during New Year, the New Year resolution phase. As live performers, singers in particular, are a lot like athletes, and we
Oh, yeah.
have all through our lives, we have coaches who help us with health coaching and fitness, as well as our music and performance. And, I think my big three, I've had some people ask me if I want to get into better shape and have better health, what are
Yeah.
the couple of big things I can do? And I'm going to share my top three, and let's see if you can add to it before we hear our second song request.
Okay.
So the big three: hydrate, drink at least 8 glasses of water a day, as the old saying goes. But if you drink caffeine or alcohol, that dehydrates you. And so you need to have an equal amount of water to get back to even. If you have 2 glasses of coffee, tea, or beer or wine, you need 2 glasses of water to get back up to even. And then you need your 8 glasses of water above it. So hydrate. It's really important for not only your voice, your big organs, your blood, your health. It will take away headaches. It will help you sleep better. So hydrate. The second big one is move for 60 minutes a day. Walking is awesome. If you can walk for 60 minutes or so, It kills about 14 types of cancers that can pop up. It keeps your heart healthy. The NFL had the whole like Move 60
Yeah,
kind
they
of
do.
promo way back when. Move 60, 60 minutes of movement a day. However you get it, even if it's broken up. And then the last thing is sleep, rest. If you're not a person that can get a lot of sleep at night, be sure you take naps because enough rest is really important. And then you could get into all these great fitness routines that we can talk about on other shows with other music. Those are my big three. What about you?
No, that coincides with some of what I do. I've always believed in hydrating and alkaline water at times, mix it in. And, I drink 8 to 12 glasses a day. And with my kidney transplant, they always said be hydrated. When I first came home, I had to drink 2 liters of water to make sure my kidneys were never dehydrated. My last appointment, the doctor said, your one kidney's functioning as well as both of my kidneys. He goes, keep doing what you're doing. So, I try to eat healthy. I only eat 2 fish meals a week, Dave Cable, since he questions whether I do that or not. I've had others say it because there are different things in fish like mercury and other contaminants that can mess with your body's functions. So it's just 2 times a week, and I try to eat the healthier fish. And I found out through my research with loose leaf green tea that they're finding out in later studies that it actually hydrates you and doesn't take away because the caffeine's less than coffee or pop or soda or whatever you're drinking. So that's another double-edged sword. And the other type of teas with the white tea, green tea, and even rooibos, I drink. It's a South African berry that they make tea out of. It has all the properties of green tea. It has no caffeine, Jess, and they put fruit in it.
Right.
So
Well, and
those
my
are things that I
favorite,
try to stay with.
yeah, my favorite, there's white, the white tea. It's so
Yes.
mild. So I'm a big fan of that as well, Al. And I think that, the other things, it relates to the next song request. The next song request is a blues tune called A Good Man Is Hard to Find.
There
And
he is.
I'm gonna tell you, this has a sense of humor. The lyric has a sense of humor. And the other big three things to boost your immune system are to laugh, to sing, and dance. You can do it when nobody's watching, but laughter,
Yes, I will.
keeping it light, right? So I was interested to see that, I had this song request. Now, this particular song, Al, was way back like 1917, and we'll talk about this more when we come out of the song, but it was recorded early on by a woman singer, and later by the great Bessie Smith herself. And like I said, we'll talk more about these great blues singers. The last song.
I'll do a little tease. The first lady that sang it, she was called the Queen of Blues. And I'll just say that she passed the torch or baton on to Jessica Lee.
Well, yeah, and we're going to talk a little more about that when we come back. So the first one, we had people really big in all genres, but gospel primarily, initially with Just a Closer
Right.
Walk. This is really more a classic blues song that was popular during the Roaring '20s.
Right.
And I think that the person who requested this has a sense of humor, and so wanted to spread a little levity, joy, lightness of being. So here's A Good Man Is Hard to Find. Here's my version. Do you want to listen to it, Al, at this point?
That was such
We'll
a
talk
great
about it.
that was such a great intro. Let's just listen right now.
Hey everyone, this is Jessica Lee. I'm here by request to play a song at this piano down below for you and sing it. It's an old classic blues song with a sense of humor called A Good Man Is Hard to Find. By request. My heart's sad and I am all forlorn. My man's treating me mean. I regret the day that I was never lasts a day. My heart is almost breaking when I say a good man is hard to find. I always get the other kind. Just when you think that he is your pal, you look for him and find him messing around some other gal. Then you rave, you even crave to see him laying in his grave. So if your man is nice, take my advice and hug him in the morning, kiss him every night, and give him lots of loving, treat him right. A good man nowadays is hard to find. A good man nowadays is hard to find. A good man nowadays is hard to find.
Jessica Lee, this was just a wonderful, humorous song. When you posted it the other day on Facebook, I smiled and laughed, like you said. When I heard it again here, just the words and verbiage in there, it's humorous. You have to be cheered up. If you had one inkling of blues, they're gone. Mine are gone. The slight blues that I have, you chase them away for me. Perfect song for the start of our 2021 by request shows.
Well, Al, right off the bat, a good man is hard to find. I always get the other kind. I mean, it's just like I got to sing that song. You know, it's just funny. Now, I want to say to everybody who listened, the line that says that you rave and you even crave to see him laying in his grave if he's out there messing around. I don't. That's a sense of humor. Don't take it literally, everybody. No violence this year. We're
In
like
this day and
anti-violence.
age, you got to say it again.
Yeah,
Yes.
no violence. That was just a meant to be kind of a funny phrase. So humorous. A great, funny, humorous, light lyric about, it's tough to find a good guy out there. And when I did post it on social media, I had some women saying, "Amen, sister. Amen. It's hard to find a good one out there." So, Al, here's to all the good men, like we like to say, the good men and the good women of the world. And
Salute. Salute.
tell us what you found in your research, because I thought this was pretty interesting. It's so old. It's so
Well,
old.
one interesting sideline, I have lots of women friends, and the few that I talk to agree with that and talk about this all the time. So it's so apropos growing up with three sisters, having a daughter. It just strikes right to the heart. So we'll get serious here. This was written by an African American songwriter and a later actor called Eddie Green. First published, like Jessica Lee said, 1917. First recorded by Marion Harris in 1919. And she was known as the first white singer to sing jazz and blues. So, I mean, how cool is that to find information out like that? And she was also, like I said, I gave the tease, known as the Queen of Blues. So that's such a cool standard. And here we have had, you know, different artists that you said, from Louis Armstrong, which Eddie Green performed in that Hot Chocolates Broadway that we talked about on another by request. He was there with Louis Armstrong and others on that show. So what a tie-in with your by request. I know you're strategic. You did it again. It worked out very well with that. But it just became so popular during the 20s because the roaring 20s of the 1900s were booming, unlike ours right now. But I'll be hopeful that maybe we can have the good times roll. So that's what I'm
Well,
looking. for.
Well, Al, and the other thing is, a lot of people when they think of, some of the great older blues singers and the
Yes,
pioneers, Bessie Smith's name comes up quite a lot. And
yes.
she was one of those um, who had recorded this particular song as well.
uh, Dozens of them. Sister Rosetta Tharpe, she was one. I'll even go to Eddie Green ended up working with Rudy Valley. Everybody knows him as a movie star, but he was a singer, and he promoted Eddie all the time on his radio show. So he became a living legend as a Black artist to follow on radio. So he helped the next generation. I mean, look at the pint sized songstress, which she did, being a woman and a small Black lady. And
Maxine Sullivan,
yes,
yes.
yes, I was waiting for
Yes.
you to tune in with that since you got me turned on to it. So this just showed the tie ins with Louis Armstrong and others who were, the foundation of what we celebrate today, let alone the history goes back and back on it. So it's so cool. Great choices, Jess.
Yeah, it is amazing to see what a small world it is, Al, and how it all connects. Because, as you know, Louis Armstrong sung with Pittsburgh's own Maxine Sullivan, the
Yes,
pint-sized songstress, and Louis also took Pittsburgh's own Earl Father, Fatha. Father was his nickname, Earl Father Hines, the
right.
pianist from Pittsburgh, all around the world. And they played with Billy Eckstein, Pittsburgh's own singer, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
Sarah Vaughan joined the band. They all were, kind of intertwined their stories and their music. So it's interesting that you and I are sitting in Pittsburgh, and there really is, it really is one of the hotbeds for the development of American music.
Like you've told me, the crossroads of this genre. I mean, it's so true.
Crossroads of the world, the Hill District in
I
Pittsburgh.
ended
Yeah.
I ended up checking Father Hines out on Wikipedia and other things, and I must have done it for over an hour. So you got me deep into it because there was so much. It was just so cool, Jess, to
Yeah.
see that. So I appreciate you guiding me on this journey here, and this is another great buy request. I can't wait for your future announcements on buy request also. So I'm looking forward to that. And anything else you want to close the show out with here?
Well, I just think, Al, that we need to say to everybody out there, 2020 was a tumultuous year, and it was hard on everybody for a gazillion really good reasons. We know from many reports that people have been struggling with post traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety, just various things as everybody's been hit by this coronavirus pandemic. And I just want to tell everybody to hold on. There's hope. There's a lot of good things going to be happening in 2021. I know some people out who have already gotten their vaccines. I know it's been
Yes.
a slow rollout, but it's coming, and so there's hope. And so I just want to say, Al, I'm really grateful to Dave Cable and everybody at BPTV, to you for co-producing the show, and to everybody out there, that you're not alone. People are struggling all over right now, but it's going to get better. Hold on, hold on. And if you need help, reach out to somebody and tell them that you're struggling, that you don't feel that you have the blues. If you have the
Yes.
blues, and you can't sing them out, reach out to somebody. You're not alone. So hang in there, everybody. Hang tough. It's going to get better, Al. Spring is coming, and summer
Hey,
too.
I'm a positive guy. There's no quit in my game. It's getting better already day by day. I see the silver lining, and just love one another, believe in God, and try not to hurt anybody, like you say. And, if people need help, I'm here. If you need somebody to talk to, I do listen, but I can talk. So if you need talk down from anything, you give me a call, contact me on Facebook, and anybody of my friends, if you have my phone number, don't be afraid to call. I will answer and get back to you. And
Yeah, and I think
we're going to have a positive new year.
the last thing I'd like to say is you and I both have a friend out there, Sam Sandora,
Yes.
a wonderful creative producer, and he an actor and everything. And he has a saying, Al, called, he says, WIGIL, WIGGIL.
I've seen it.
And what does that mean? He said, even if you don't believe in God, that's okay. What is God? God is love. Wigil. What
Yeah.
is God? God, just like you said, unconditional love and care for each other, that we're all brothers and sisters. So
Yeah.
I wish you a happy, healthy, most wonderful new year yet, Al, that you have this year. And,
Thank you.
here's to throw in a little bit of sunshine out there through a couple of songs. And so everybody keep the Bible requests coming, and we will try to honor as many as we can.
Yes, we will. And don't be afraid to contact us. Check out jessicaleejazz.com. Check out Jessica Lee Jazz YouTube. Like I made the mistake the other day, just go there. I appreciate the correction. And we stay positive. And Jess, you stay healthy, happy with your family and friends. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm honored to be able to do a show with you. And thanks to Dave Cable for helping us coordinate all of this stuff together. I appreciate that. And BPTV by Bethel Park. It's just a great thing to do. And I'm honored to be able to bring great things to other people out there. So let's stay positive. We will get through it. There's light out there. I see it. And it's not a train coming, it's sun.
That's great. To your health, Al.
Last little sip.
Cheers.
Till the next time, stay tuned for the next buy request on BPTV and Jessica Lee Jazz YouTube.